ministry before it can react on it appropriately.
We've still not received a copy of the report. The ministry has promised to send us a copy, but we are yet to receive it. So we do not want to give any premature comments on the matters released in that report. We will wait, get the copy, study it, and then we will respond appropriately. This matter first broke. It was the hospital that reported the matter promptly to the police, because we thought that the disappearance of the body of that stillborn was inappropriate. It was an aberration that should be investigated so that the appropriate measures will be put in place to avoid the recurrence of such an unfortunate incident. Since then, we've cooperated fully with the police. All the staff members that they have wanted to speak to, we've presented all of them, and they have been given a caution statement to the police. And we are hoping that in no time the police will finish its investigations into the whole matter so that we know which steps to take again.
The mother of Suweba tells Joy News a doctor had declared Suweba hypertensive days after the bizarre incident.
The man says a bar and possess Suweba at the moment in Casano. She said Suweba at the moment on your pressure. She said a scene from Aqua. She said 50 idea 1 10 beer Okasa, 10 beer Okasa, the Babisano, a Yenny say. I feel the Wanya Bojabuzo, Wanya Bojabuzo.
Suweba, in an interview with Joy News, commended the general public for their support and wants all stakeholders involved in the matter to continue the interrogation to unravel the mystery behind the missing babies. Joy News investigations reveal doctors at the Comfornochi Teaching Hospital may from now admit patients to capacity.
And doctors at the Comfornochi Teaching Hospital are unhappy the Ministry of Health decided to make known report of its fact-finding committee to the media without consulting them after they had collaborated with the team. The move follows the Ministry of Health asking the midwife and the doctor that attended to Suweba to proceed on leave for investigations into their professional conduct to begin. The doctors say the move is to avoid mistakes made as a result of the pressure on them imposed by the huge numbers that visit the facility every day.
The public, when they can, they should bear with us, because some of the changes that we'll make will affect patients and their relatives. They will know that we are not working normally like the way we did before. With these current happenings, we have to sit down and review our standard operating procedure. We were a bit surprised. I mean, we received the news just like you did, all of you did, through the media. We would have wished that maybe a copy of this report would have been made available to us. After all, the investigative team that came around, we collaborated with them fully. Look, we unfettered access to personnel and to every place of the hospital, because we are also interested in getting to the bottom of the matter. And then the promise, they left with the promise that the initial report will be sent to us so that we will discuss it. And the final copy that comes out will be something that we all share and we have appended our signature to. But unfortunately, it didn't turn out to be that way. The way the matter is going is almost becoming like a public relation war. Doctors and nurses are not trained to do public relations primarily. But we realize that it is also the public also consumes. So maybe we'll have to adjust a bit.
Meanwhile, National Coordinator of the Coalition of Universal Access to Health, Sidua Hall, has said hospital authorities must produce the bodies of the babies to bring a closure to the case. Wow. Now, what is happening is a bit, for me, as a layman who doesn't work in a hospital, I find it very strange. Is it like a blackmail or really sheer insubordination?
It's both. Even the third one is very mischievous, you know, because what happened at Akomfonache is something that is worrying. It's something that's of concern to every Ghanaian, because I can't imagine going to hospital with my wife for a baby, and then at the end of the day, the facility cannot account for the baby, and that if as a higher authority is asking the hospital or the facility to account for those human beings, they will try to fight back by saying that per the international standard, a doctor is supposed to see 3 patients in a day. That is very mischievous, and I consider this to be very unfortunate. Not at a time when we feel that they should feel remorse about what happened at Akomfonache. We think that this is the time for them to work together with all the institutional agencies that are interested in this case, so that at the end of the day, systems in our institutions, including health facilities, can work better, because this is a clear case of system failure at Akomfonache. And so this is unacceptable. Because by this measure, what they are saying is that some people are going to be denied access to healthcare at the facility. If they are talking of international standard, is it today that they are aware of that? Just overnight, after the Ministry of Health issued their press statement, then they are taking this fight back approach. That's double standard, because at one breath, I heard them saying that they are going to cooperate with the committee or the police or the ministry to make sure that they get to the bottom of this. That gives the impression that they are concerned about what happened. Then, at another breath, they're saying that because of the pressure they received is what they're trying to explain for what happened. I mean, that is so ridiculous.
Is there anything to explain for? I mean, because this appears to be something that possibly might have been happening way back.
Absolutely, because this doesn't just happen last week or so. In the past, there have been similar incidents, not just only at Akomfonache, but other facilities. And so, for me, this is not a time for them to try to work this way. It is very unfortunate, and that's, for me, that also sounds unprofessional. You know, if they feel that the way the Ministry of Health went about it is not the right way, they have leadership. They can have meeting with the ministry, you know, and then they deal with these issues. But it's, for me, no, it's no good. For now, we are still even trying to come to terms with what happened at Akomfonache, and we are still waiting for them to account for the human beings.
But do they really have the power to go ahead with this threat? I mean, do they have contractual obligations they must honor, for which if they opt out, they could be dealt with by the law, or maybe their employments could be severed?
I think they are failing to understand that we live in a country, and this country is made up of rules, you know. We are governed by rules. There's no any individual or institution in this country that is above the laws of this country. If that facility were to be a private facility and doesn't happen, they'll be held accountable. It's a public sector institution. That institution has been established by our taxes. They are paid by our tax money. They are accountable to us.
Engaged Sidwa Hall earlier on today's big story, and still the Deputy General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association, Dr. Justice Dufu Yangson, says the move by the doctors at the Akomfonache Teaching Hospital to treat 3 patients per hour is to ensure high-quality standards of care at the hospital. He spoke to me today on today's big story, urging authorities to ensure improved working conditions for doctors.
Talking about doctors in Akomfonache also making an argument. Nobody has condoned babies that are missing. In fact, the Ghana Medical Association's position is that the management of Akomfonache should be held responsible, and they should be made to produce the babies, whether dead or alive.
Right.
So for us, we don't condone any matter.
So you support that position, that they must produce or account for these babies?
Yes. That's the position of the Ghana Medical Association.
And do you also support that the doctors should begin to work by international standards by seeing 3 patients?
What the doctors in Kumasi are saying is that based on the sheer numbers and the pressure on them, there is a possibility of some lapses occurring. That could lead to a practitioner having his license suspended. He could lose his job. He could be struck off the list of qualified, certified practitioners, and that is a serious matter. So what they are also saying is that they want the ministry to also address the problems that are associated with the sheer numbers. It is not they are making that they are overworked. If a neurosurgeon or a surgeon spends, let's say, 6 hours in operating 1 patient, if they do 3 surgeries, that is 18 hours. Per our labor laws, you are even allowed to work 8 hours. With just a minimum of about 2-3 hours extra work in addition to whatever you ought to do within the 8 hours. And they are saying that sometimes in their bid to ensure that everybody gets health care, they do more than the required hours. They try their best to see as many people as possible. But now that there are standards that they ought to follow, which in the past they were following, but now the bar is being raised to such a point where at the least sign of any lapse on your part, you could find yourself wanting. They are also drawing attention to their plight that if these share numbers are not corrected, then there could be problems.
And in other stories, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly last month announced plans to relocate traders at the Belushi market to Ajay Nkotoku in the Gan West municipality of the Greater Accra region. Joe News' Matilda Pemega visited the area, particularly the Konkomba market, and reports no movement had taken place.
The directive, according to authorities, is to help decongest the Belushi market area as a result of continuous traffic caused by trucks offloading goods to the market. With a new market constructed at Ajay Nkotoku by the government, the AMA promised to relocate them by 28th February. Speaking to leaders of the market on why the directive has not been obeyed, they say there have been no consultation with them regarding the modality of movement.
Actually, when they started construction, they didn't consult us. We were only called sometime at the later part of last year. We were taking I can just say at the very tip end of the year, 2013, that the mayor himself led us to Ajay Nkotoku, and then they showed us the market. But then it wasn't suitable. And they told us that we had to have some sort of round table conference meetings, pull-up meetings, to find out whether we had we accepted the place or not. But that never occurred to. We never had any meeting with them again to discuss our intentions, whether what we have seen was suitable to us or not.
He further stressed the new market sheds built for them will not favor their business.
The nature of the constructions at Ajay Nkotoku, the structures that have been put up over there, are not suitable for yam trade. For instance, when you come to a market, you go inside, you see that we need some sort of a rectangular shaped type of construction, which will be enclosed with the middle, the center part open, whereby our yams can be kept. But Ajay Nkotoku, they put up buildings, actually like warehouses. And yams, we don't keep yams in wells, they all get rotten. So we pleaded with them that they should take a second look at the structures that have been put up and try to put up structures that would be suitable for our yam trade.
He added the leaders of the market had put measures in place to address the traffic situation around the market.
We are forcing vehicles into areas that were earmarked as car parks. And then you can say it's one market, and then there's another station here. We used to call it the Stafford's Park. We've moved all the vehicles there. And we have asked that any vehicle that discharges its cargo must try to find a place somewhere else to park, but not park along the roadside to obstruct free flow of vehicles along the major route.
He, however, appealed to the authorities to engage the leaders of the market in their discussion to relocate them. Matilda Pamaga for Joy News. Accra.
Meanwhile, the AMA says there will be a meeting on Monday to strategize the way forward on relocating to the Konkomba market. And today marks the 66th anniversary of the death of 3 ex-servicemen who lost their lives during the Christianburg Crossroad shooting on February 28. Aging veterans who participated in this year's celebration are calling on government to institute measures aimed at improving the quality of their lives.
76-year-old Corporal Ado Brown says many veterans like himself feel neglected by the government. According to him, the occasion must not be an annual ritual of bringing ex-servicemen together, but constant attention must be paid to them in recognition of their sacrifice for the nation.
Sana Mitu, once morning, Nakani, Mitu, the name 1, Sunny Wana accommodation, 2, Wana doctor, one doctor, Nibako, Udubang, Kuna Benahu, come a member of Pinking, I will pay me issue, Koromami. Du problem ba wona woni ba na no ji ni apia wo doctor ke wo welfare na nu ba na right now.
Others also shared their thoughts.
Sister Tree, nam Crossroad. Ya Bob dia ko operation near Yibia. It's carried so as I will maybe my
92-year-old Frederick Aluti Bruce Thompson recalled memories of the day.
Peaceful demonstration was all gone. It was all gone. It would have be able to shoot and get a keeper on that. Somebody on peaceful demonstration going to say governor free without any blemish. But when we got to Christian Ball Crossroad, Emily, Sope, but they get a keeper on that. They were in my front. I was behind them. So I saw what happened.
Meanwhile, as part of the 66th anniversary ceremony held at the Independence Square, wreaths were laid at the Freedom Monument in Osu in honor of Sergeant Ajete, Corporal Atipo, and Private Odate Lamte, who lost their lives on Saturday, 28 February 1948, at the junction of the Osu Christian Borg Castle. Matilda Pamaga.
Well, we wish our veterans well. Once a soldier, always a soldier. You're watching Joy News at 8, live from our studios here in Accra, and also live on ABN on Sky Channel 290 in London. We'll be right back. And welcome back. A 6-year-old at Wenchi has been denied access to education because she cannot walk. The assistant headmistress of Wenchi Methodist B Primary School told Joy News she only admits active children. Jojo Kobina reports that the girl's rejection from the school has left her family broken.
Alberta is not a happy woman. All emotions she had bottled up for some time finally let loose. She is hurt. Her daughter was denied education because of her physical disability. Her 6-year-old daughter's crime was that she cannot walk. Alberta brings out a school uniform she sold for the daughter and tells me her investment is now a waste.
See? Area. I'm around your area.
I'm based in the now that's room based in the black.
Uniform I know upon me one.
Her husband says he could not also challenge school authorities because he thought they had a right to deny her daughter admission. The parents have since been trying to find solutions to make their daughter walk, including buying her crutches. But little Mabna will walk in her own time. She crawls to get to wherever she wants to go and never fails to smile. We followed up at the Methodist B Primary School in Wenchi to get a reaction from the school. The teachers confirmed they indeed denied the girl admission. The assistant headmistress also confirmed the child was not admitted because she could not walk. She gave many reasons why the child could not be admitted.
You can't sit for a long time, and you can't hold anything to look at. Let me see. You can't hold a pencil, a chalk, and anything to write. they talk. Now that I've seen that, probably I haven't seen her, and I don't know anything about her.
Yeah.
Blah.
The child has never been to, no, she can't stand.
If she can't stand, how can you admit her in this public school?
No,
she has to attend a special school. I think Belushi or
no, Belushi is for people
a deaf school.
Yeah, but the child is not in a deaf school. So why do you take the child to a deaf school? When the child, is it because the child cannot work?
If he cannot work, how can he come to school? He wants children who are active. He can play, he can do other active things and talk. Can this girl, if I has her, speak, pronounce them on the word? How can he something?
But Mabna crawls to join other children and actively plays with them. She keeps a smile, caring less about the discrimination around her. The Wenchi Municipal Education Office says the attention has not been drawn to the situation. I'm currently at the Wenchi Municipal Education Office, and the Ghana Education Service mission statement is here, and it's very pronounced. I'd like to read it. The Wenchi Municipal Education Directorate exists to provide quality formal education and training to all children of school-going age in a municipality to acquire skills, knowledge, and attitudes that will prepare them for higher education and adult life to make them useful to themselves and society. So one wonders why little Mabna will be denied education on the grounds that she cannot walk. For now, the girl is out of school, but she's enthusiastic to join other children. Article 25 of Ghana's Constitution grants children the right to education. Section 8 of the Children's Act also states that no child should be denied access to education, a right Mabna is seeking to enjoy. Jojo Kobno, Joy News.
Very sad situation there. Students of the Gambaga Girls High School in the East Mamprusi district of the Northern Region are appealing to government to improve water supply in the district and infrastructure in the school to save them from man-hours they spend traveling long distances in search of water. Difficulty in accessing clean, safe and lack of classroom blocks is having a huge impact on academic performance in the school.
Access to clean, safe water for students of Gambaga Senior High School in the East Mamprusi district of the Northern Region is affecting academic work. Students of the school on a daily basis spend productive academic time in search of water from nearby communities. This is because of the inadequate supply of water to residents of the area. Some students of the school tell Joy News they are often bitten by snakes and report to class very late.
When it comes to water issue on campus, students have to sometimes trek for like 5 miles to some streams to fetch dirty water to come for their consumption, which is sometimes very dangerous, but we have no other option. But we have to compel to that because there is no water. Sometimes we have to go to a borehole, which is only one for the community and the school, and we have to go and struggle with the community ladies to fetch water, and it's not always easy.
Sometimes a student can take about 5 miles to look for water, which is very bad. We are here for studies, but the way we normally devote our time in searching for water is very bad.
The difficulty in accessing clean, safe water is just part of the problems of the school. There are inadequate classroom blocks, dining hall and dormitories, compelling students to take their dinner and classes in makeshift system. In 2012, government attempted to remedy the infrastructure problems in the school and awarded contract for the construction of a dining hall complex and a dormitory through the GET Fund. The contractor abandoned work after some initial work over a year ago. Headmistress of the school, Amina Musa, said with the increase in the student population from 40 in 2007 to 656 at the moment, students and teachers are enduring hard times in teaching and learning.
The school lacks so many things. We don't have dormitories, we don't have infrastructure in general. It's a problem for the school. We just have a few classroom blocks. The problem of accommodation for them. Get Fund has given the school 2 projects which are ongoing. We have the dormitory block and then the dining hall complex. With the dining hall complex in particular, over 1 year now, we haven't even seen the contractor on site. And so I think that it's important that we pay attention to Gambaga Girls Senior High School.
Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin's report from the Northern Region.
The opposition New Patriotic Party has described as hypocritical President Mahama's proposed progressive free senior high school policy intended to start in the 2015-2016 academic year. Former Director of Communications of the party, Nana Kumia, in an interview said the NDC now lacked ideas to alleviate the economic hardships of Ghanaians and were thus employing all means possible to hold on to political power.
President Mahama's progressive free SHS policy has attracted heated debates between the 2 main leading political parties in the country, the NPP and the NDC. Whereas the NDC are claiming the free SHS policy is a constitutional requirement they are simply fulfilling, the NPP are of the opinion that the free SHS policy idea espoused by Nana Addo during the 2012 presidential elections had been stolen by the NDC.
Everybody in the world knows that free secondary school is an idea championed by the NPP. Everybody, not only in Ghana, everybody in the world, they know. That's number one. Number two, what we propose, they are starting at a much, much slower level. We said that beginning 2013 academic year, everybody who entered secondary school will not pay fees. They are saying that beginning 2015, those who are in day schools. So what they are proposing is different from what we are proposing. But it is all introducing the concept of free.
Nana Kumia questioned President Mahama's decision to implement the policy after vehemently opposing it during the electioneering period.
What did the NDC say? They say that once it is going to be free, then there will be no quality. And that what is important is to make primary school, the basic school, rather free. And is to create access. As we speak, primary school is not free. Even the little fees that are paid there, what we call the capitation, the NDC will not pay it. As we speak, is access available to everybody? Because as we speak, you said you would do 50 secondary schools last year. You could not do 1.
The current trend, he added, will not affect the NPP's campaign in 2016. Nana Kumia said the NDC's sudden U-turn on free SHS is a vindication of the NPP and its flag bearer.
And still with the NPP, the 6 constituencies yet to elect regional executives in the national executives elections have until Friday, March 21 to do so, or risk not participating in the party's April 12 National Delegates Conference and flag bearer elections. Elections were not held in Crossroad, Menchia, North, Okankwe North, Okankwe South, Dwabing and Kumewu after officials raised concerns about the eligibility of some of the participating candidates.
Ahead of the April 12 National Delegates Conference of the NPP in Tamale, the National Elections Committee of the party have directed that there should be a rerun of the elections at all polling, electoral and constituency levels which could not conduct the elections due to one form of misunderstanding or the other. The directive is to ensure that during the National Delegates Conference, some delegates of the party are not disenfranchised. Former Communications Director of the party, Nana Kumia, said it was imperative that the affected constituencies conduct the elections to deepen the internal democracy within the party.
There were complaints about the conduct of the elections in those constituencies. I mean, there are 275 constituencies in the country. And so if about 6 or 7 were not allowed, it was because there were complaints. Some of them are in court. If you take my constituency, for example, the matter is in court. So we don't have executives as we speak in my constituency. So they couldn't take part in the regional elections. And if the matter is not resolved, they will not take part in the national elections. And if it's not resolved, they will not take part in the presidential primaries. So there's a problem. And so a committee has been set up to resolve the problem. The committee has made some recommendations. The authority that appointed the committee, if they accept the recommendations, the party will accept it.
Meanwhile, the National Elections Committee further decided that the Nasarawa regional elections in Ashanti and Western regions should be rerun to comply with the convention of using only constituency Nasarawa coordinators in conducting the elections in the other 8 regions.
Business. The University of Ghana has issued new directives on how the public can access its roads. This follows the suspension of its controversial road toll system after government promised to absorb all associated costs in the reconstruction of the university's roads. Members of the general public who wish to be considered for a University of Ghana sticker may submit an application to the Director of Physical Development and Municipal Services. So how will this sticker work? Maranturi has been finding out.
According to the university, the objective of instituting the toll was not so much to collect money from citizens, but to re-establish and maintain a serene atmosphere conducive for academic work on campus.
The university sought to do 3 things. We went for a loan facility. Of course, we need money to pay the loan. We also know that these roads that were done were not the only deplorable roads on campus. We have other roads to fix. So whatever money would have accrued will pay for the loan, as well as maintain those roads, as well as have money available to enhance our roads infrastructure. But more than that, also, we are looking at security and safety. We have students living in the residential areas and walking to the lecture. If this place is used as a public thoroughfare, really, it poses a great deal of danger to our students. You see students just walking in between cars because they are rushing to lectures and people are driving recklessly. Do we want a semblance of Abekala Pass on the Legon campus? I do not think that is what the public wants.
The university issued new directives on Thursday, restricting access to non-permit holders via all other routes except the main stadium entrance of the school, which will remain open 24 hours. Vehicles entering the university by that route will be required to exit by the same route. The measures will take effect from March 15th, after which people wishing to access the university campus by the restricted routes will need to apply for a permit.
Any member of the university community, and that includes myself as a staff, as an employee of the university, if I own a private vehicle that I use to come to work, I must apply. I must submit any documentation that the Director of Physical Development requires of me. I'll have to do this, and when it is considered, I am given a sticker, which I have to display on the windscreen of my car.
Some affected drivers were, however, relieved about the closure of the toll.
It's good they don't collect the money. Since they started collecting the money, I stopped passing here. But as they stop, I'm now using the road.
Well, for me, it's saving me some money because I often come to campus to transact business at the bank. Means that I have to be paying every time I enter to do my business. If they are not collecting the money anymore, I think it will save me some money.
Meanwhile, on the promise by government to pay for the maintenance and cost of reconstruction of these roads, Director of Public Affairs of the University, Stella Amos, says they'll arrange a meeting with government to discuss the modalities. Maranturi, Joy News, Accra.
Okay, then. Well, we'll take a short break here, and we'll return with business. Stay with us. Well, we're back, and we'll take sports ahead of business, and I have George here. George.
Stephen, there's a lot to talk about. I hope you are going to be there for the bouts at ringside. Bukum Banku and Aita Powers.
Well, I'm not a fan of boxing to box people's jaws and break it.
but they're very, very interesting guys. And you want to be there to just get into that one as well.
So let's hear what you have.
Obviously, let's talk about this. And the former national table tennis champion Eric Aqua has launched an under-15 and executive class championship that would attempt to unearth the next generation of table tennis players for the country. The competition is set to be held on the 8th of March 2014 at the Crossroad Stadium. Eric Aqua has been explaining to Joy Sports his motivation for the gesture.
I mean, basically, a lot of people that know me in the media, I mean, table tennis has made me who I am today. Without table tennis, I wouldn't be sitting here with this man, you know, trying to express what table tennis have done for me. I mean, through education, I had scholarship through table tennis. I went through the basic school, you know, with the determination of trying to aim higher. I was just a young lad, you know, used to come to the sports hall, and I've passed through a lot of stuff. Me sitting here now, I didn't take things for granted. I've passed through a lot. If you ask the chief coaches, they will tell you. I wasn't the favorite when I started playing, but then I worked extremely hard to get to the top.
Let's do some boxing now. And the build-up to the much-anticipated boxing bout in Ghana between Bukum Banku and Ayita Powers is hitting fever pitch, and organizers are looking to put together a spectacle that could rival any in the world. Alex Intiamwa is president of the Box Office Promotions and is confident of a great bout.
Opportunity. In fact, Yamisha, in Gabuko, what's that contract? In many Jinjan and 5 Nebaba. And no penny on the Maka, Mamipa, Akaji. The thing is, Buko Mangwanya challenge. Me challenge Buko Banku. He promised God, he get God, I can tell much world champion. He Liaka Benny, he might Buko Banku, much world champion.
I eat the point say wrong one about this shit. Later you feeling my wrong one about this shit. And you know, cash is here. The 7 years. Let your back no. Catching on you war and everybody and qualia. Need to be a body for 3 years. Here, you know. Can't stop why the boy said. GBA appointed for 3 years. Stop.
All right, so we'll be looking ahead to that bout, and that was definitely Bukum Banku and Ayita Powers speaking there to you. Very exciting. On the 18th of April, we'll find out who definitely turns out the champion. For now, I'll be leaving you. That's all for sports tonight. My name is George Adi Jr. Stephen will join us with some more. Have a good night.
Sports was brought to you in association.
In business, gold production declined by 15% from 4.3 million ounces in 2012 to 3.9 million by the end of 2013. The Minerals Commission largely attributes the decline to the drop in the global demand for gold, coupled with a fall in the prices of gold worldwide.
The World Gold Council, in its latest gold demand trends report, says fourth quarter gold demand was 29% down on the same 3 months of the previous year. It placed full year 2013 gold demand at 3,756 tons, valued at $170 billion, and down from 4,415 tons in the previous year. The Ghanaian economy, which is notably the 9th largest producer of gold in the world, has also had its fair share of the impacts, dropping in production by 15%.
In times that you have a very strong American, economy, gold prices, and the way, if people would see it as a safer place to invest rather than to invest in gold, or to invest in gold as a store of value, but where while the economy is very weak, then probably gold becomes safer place to really invest, or if people might buy gold to but to actually store. The fact of the matter is that as the price drops, definitely, I mean, if production does not drop as well, the net effect is that the revenue that accrues to government would also drop.
Gold prices remain volatile, dropping from an average $1,411 per ounce last year to $1,270 per ounce in the last 2 months in 2014. The Minerals Commission, however, believes the country will have to diversify to export more minerals other than gold, owing to the unpredictable nature of global gold prices.
I think that in addition to even the minerals that we do mine now, there is the potential to, as it were, add value to what we produce. In adding value, what you're doing is that you are having a downstream, beneficiation of the minerals. For example, we have iron ore deposits in the country which are not being mined yet, and we have manganese which is being mined. If you should be to, that is, those two minerals are ideal for the production of ferromanganese, which is used in the steel industry for example. So it's not good enough to just produce the minerals and to export them. We should be able to create the environment for the private sector to be able to, go beyond just the production and then go into value addition, and now also having to ensure that the mining sector does not become an enclave on its own, but it's actually have linkages with other sectors of the economy.
Ghana, meanwhile, produced 148,623 carats of diamonds, 802,897 metric tons of bauxite, and 1.4 million metric tons of manganese in 2013. Government revenue also realized over 580 million cedis corporate taxes from mining companies and mineral royalties worth over 364 million cedis. Abigail Adumakwenchi for Joy News.
And traders at Trifo Praso in the Trifo Etimokwa district of the Central Region have protested against the relocation of the Praso market, describing it as unfair to traders in the area.
Clad in red bands, the traders, some of whom took the matter to the Cape Coast High Court, say the new location with its wooden structure lacked basic amenities, including water and toilet facilities. They have, however, asked the District Assembly to provide a modern market that befits a district capital status, threatening that until that is done, they will not move from the current location. These traders hooted at the District Assembly officials when a Cape Coast High Court judge, Ivy Hayward Mills, together with some members of the judiciary, visited the area as part of measures to help deliver an informed judgment. They claimed the assembly collected 100 Ghana cedis from each of them to give them a permanent place in the new market, but that has not been done, as the assembly says they should build their own sheds.
This year, I give you 1 million. No, go chop. Baby, kakabama, the wala son. No, but where he was trying to first to do. As 1 million, no, as we receive no qua. What about Chama? No, Chadi, the one tab, one of the Yala sandwich, and baby kakaba. What amount? What give you 1 million? One, no, also no. It's not sure young cats now, a stop in all about young cats now. Yamanaka sons, abandoned Sugaman. No, we are more and
Joy News followed up to the District Assembly, where the District Chief Executive, Bossman Osei, argued that the traders are occupying state land which houses the District Magistrates Court and a police station, and that their activity disturbs the work and security in the area.
From the High Court judge, that apart from the market issue, there is a circular on my table that every person, all those who has encroached on government land, all MMDAs must make sure for their removal. That is why this exercise has been back at Jeokojo, Medina, all those who have encroached on government land. Please, all MMDAs must...
All the headlines again. The controversy over the missing baby at the Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital rages on as doctors threaten to work according to world standards. And 6-year-old girl at Wenchi denied rights to education because she is a person with physical disability. And traders at the Belushi market still doing brisk business despite earlier directive by the AMA to relocate them to Ajeng Kotoku in the Gan West municipality. And in business, gold prices declined by 15% from 4.3 million ounces in 2012 to 3.9 million by end of 2013. And in international news, ousted Ukrainian President Viktor Yanukovych says he was forced to leave his country and is ready to fight for Ukraine. And that's all for the news. My name is Stephen N.T. Have a great weekend.